Hello everybody. While the 491 visa has been very popular for migrating to Australia, why do I still feel that there's still some misconceptions, some misgivings related to this visa? The purpose of this is to update you on certain recent changes to the visa and to clarify some of the doubts a lot of you still have about the 491 visa. So let's get started. The first thing that has changed about the 491 visa, and some people are probably not updated about it, is that when the 491 visa initially started, there was a minimum income threshold required, which the applicants were required to complete before they were eligible to file for a 191, that is the permanent stage of this provisional visa. That was around $52,900. Then later on, the minimum income threshold criteria was raised by the Department of Home Affairs. However, it came as a very welcome surprise that the minimum income threshold criteria no longer applied to 491 visa applicants. What that meant was that when this visa was started, anybody migrating to Australia on a 491 visa was required to prove to the Australian government, after having lived there for 3 years, that they have earned at least around $53,000 per year. However, any applicant going to Australia on a 491 visa now does not need to prove any minimum income. It does not matter what you're earning. You could be even earning like $10,000 a year. They're okay with it. And this applies to even those applicants who got their 491 visa when this rule was in place. So that is something I think you all need to update yourself on. The second change that has been there for the 491 visa is that initially the initial entry period stated on the visa grant letter was up to 1 year from the date of the grant of visa. That means, let's say if somebody gets a visa on the 1st of January 2024, he was required, or everybody who was granted a visa were required to enter Australia before 1st of January 2025. This has now changed. Now the initial entry period has been extended to 5 years instead of 1 year. So that's another good news that you might benefit from. Thirdly, some people are of the opinion that there's a difference between a 190, 189 and the 491 visa in terms of the work rights. There's absolutely no difference. Your work rights on a 491 visa are same as that of on somebody with a 189 or a 190 visa. You can be employed in any field. You can be employed in an occupation that's not even related to your nominated occupation, or let's say that's diagrammatically opposed to your nominated occupation. You could even be self-employed. The only condition is that your employment should be in the regional area or designated area. And now let me tell you that apart from Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane, just about everything in Australia is classified as regional. Now the next issue, and this is a very common question I've been getting from a lot of clients, is that can we change our state or move interstate on a 491 visa? Now here is a contradiction. The visa grant letter does not stipulate any such requirement. That is, your visa 491 visa grant letter does not bind you to work in a particular state. However, since you had agreed to live in the nominating state for 3 years out of the 5 years, yes, I would say you are obligated to live in the nominating state for 3 years. You have to live in the regional areas only. That is the only condition. But yes, within the state, you must be living. The next one is that after you have completed 3 years of stay on a 491, Is it mandatory that only the primary applicant, the person who was the primary applicant for a 491 visa, apply for a 191? No. Either of the two of you could apply for a 191. Okay, let's go with an example that in a certain situation, the wife was the primary applicant for a 491 visa. However, the husband puts up an application for a 191 because he completed the requirements in terms of having lived in regional area for 3 years and working for 3 years. So that is also good to go. The next, I would say, very bizarre confusion that still exists is a lot of people still ask me is that after we complete 3 years of stay on a 491 visa, will we be required to undergo a point test again, or a skills assessment again, or undertake our English proficiency score again? Please understand that your point test, your nominated occupation, your English proficiency scores, and everything is something that is only required for a 491 visa. Once your 491 is granted, everything related to this ends here. None of this will be required for you to put up your 191 visa. The only thing you will be required to prove is that you've lived in regional area for 3 years and you've worked in regional area for 3 years. That is all. Nothing more than that. And finally, what I would like to take up is that the 491 is a provisional visa. It is not a temporary visa wherein you're required to come back. Any applicant getting a 491 visa is going to Australia with the purpose of permanently settling there. It is a multiple entry visa. You can come and go to India or abroad as many times as you like, and as long as you complete 3 years of stay out of 5 years in the regional Australia, you're absolutely good to go. So those are some of things I wanted to just touch base on, and I hope you stand corrected on certain issues where you had certain misunderstandings. That'll be it for today. For any queries, please feel free to write to us on at CaanWings@gmail.com or inquiries@CaanWings.com, or give us a call on our helpline at 78498 78498. Until next time, bye bye and take care.